Literally. In a land of likes, leggings, and lattes comes a podcast hosted by two basic beings, Becca and Maddie. This is the Basic Bee Podcast.
Hello
to those bees out in the ether.
Ether.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. I mean, that was quite the introduction.
I just wanted to be different this week.
You know, I liked it.
Thanks.
I think it was very catching.
I just noticed your hair is like perfect.
Well, thank you.
It looks gorgeous. It's very glamorous.
It's my weekly hair.
That's amazing. My hair would never hold a curl like that.
Well, it's my wand. My hair, I've tried the Bombay hair curler, which is like a really popular one with influencers.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Now I'm questioning it. But it's like one where you could switch out the barrels. It does not hold my curls at all. My hairdresser has a traditional curler, and it does not hold my curls at all.
Is it a Hot Tools one?
Yeah.
Like with the gold?
It's Conair, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
Conair, I've had it since high school, and it's a wand, and it's the only thing that will curl my hair right.
But what's the one that your hairdresser has that doesn't work?
It is the gold one. Because
I just bought that.
Mm-hmm.
$50. It doesn't work.
Yeah, you should have told me. I would have given you mine because mine doesn't work right. You could try my other wands and see if you like them.
Anyway, your hair looks amazing.
Thank you.
How was your day?
My day was a little bit crazy at work. I've vented to you about...
You're shorthanded?
Yeah, we're shorthanded. We can't get anybody hired.
Nobody can get anyone hired.
I know. I went to the pizza place in Greenwood the other day, and they're hiring people at $15 an hour.
I saw that at the Keystone Mall. They were hiring people for that. Mm-hmm. And then Dawn and I went to Starbucks a week or so ago, and they were shut down in the middle of the day, and there was just cones and a sign that said, "We're hiring."
Isn't that crazy?
That was at the Beach Grove one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and what's crazy is I get more than 15, but it almost makes you want to go be like a simple job where I could take unlimited time off, because like right now they're kind of strict on time off because they're so short-handed.
Yeah, yours is like more of a, not corporate, but it's, more formal.
Yeah, where you have vacation days and stuff.
Right.
I'm like, man, I should take the pay cut and have a lot less of the responsibility, because the pay cut for a lot of people is not that big.
Yeah, luckily that was like a big reason I decided to go with the barista, because in food service, it's a lot less formal, so you obviously don't get paid time off, but, like, you can pretty much take off whenever you want as long as you give notice.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. You're very free. Your schedule is flexible. Like, I get random days off during the week. You do have to work some weekends, but, there's pros and cons to both.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah.
Anyway.
That's why I'm like, man, maybe I should ditch doing the corporate thing and going
You could come work with me.
Okay, sounds good. I don't know anything
probably
about coffee.
Really sick of me at that point.
It'd be too much.
Yeah, we see each other a lot already, but You're not annoying me yet.
That's good. We'll play Mario Kart later, and we'll see if I annoy you.
Yeah, I'm about to be at your house today for like 6 hours because The Bachelorette is on tonight.
Yes,
so.
I'm so excited.
I know. I just saw this TikTok where this guy made a robot watch, or AI or something, watch The Bachelorette, and it like wrote its own version of it, and it was really funny. But yeah, I'm excited for The Bachelorette, and so I guess we should talk about our recent obsessions.
Yes. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I will go first. Okay. I've been really loving Dr. Pepper Zero and 7-Up Zero.
Okay.
I didn't even know those existed until my mom told me about them, so she bought them, and I've been drinking them a lot.
So I need to go get you some Dr. Pepper Zero.
Yeah, I probably should be replacing everything with water, but you just need that spice,
Yeah, you can't drink water all the time.
Hence my Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, but I feel you on that, because I'm trying to cut out soda, and it's so difficult. And when we started the podcast, I was like, I need to choose water or soda. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to save my soda for dinner.
And you went with water.
And I went with water. And
I'm proud of
drink
you.
the whole bottle.
Yes.
But I've been going through like 3 or 4 a day. So I'm doing good.
Waters?
Yes.
That's good.
So I'm doing good. And I'm trying to... I have one of those cups that's like... Is it half a gallon?
Or a gallon or something?
Yeah, it's half a gallon or a gallon, and it gives you the times.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to just, like, start that one day. So I'm trying to build up to that. So I feel like maybe, like, I think it's about 6 waters a day. So I'm almost there to where I'll start using the cup.
So are you letting yourself have soda at all, or what?
Yes, I'm still letting myself have soda. I'm just trying to limit it to 1 per day.
That's good.
Because I think quitting cold turkey is what's always killed me. Is I'll do it for, like, 3 days. I'll be doing so good. Then I'll get the migraine. And then that's when I'm, like, back on it. So I think slowly phasing it out will be good.
You are super addicted if you're getting migraines.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't drink any other form of caffeine. Like
you don't like
coffee. Yeah.
Tea.
So that's my only source of caffeine. So it's just, like, complete caffeine withdrawal. But.
Well, I'm sure once you cut it out, at least for the most part, completely, you're going to notice, like, a difference in... I don't know, a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I've cut out soda completely for a long time, and it was weird. It was like I immediately lost 10 pounds.
Wow.
And then, I don't know, I just felt better. I was focused more on drinking water, so I'm sure that helped me feel better. Mm-hmm. But I didn't feel, like, dependent on it, which was nice. But anyway, so there's that. And then my other obsession is Too Hot to Handle on Netflix.
What is this? That's not the one you talked about last time.
It's not. This is one I watched a couple nights ago with Adam, and we binged like 5 episodes. But it's like a reality game show, and they take 12 people, I think it was 12, from around the world, and they tell them that it's a show about like a sexy, hot summer with singles. And then they get them all there, and they're all flirting, and then they tell them that you're not allowed to make out, you're not allowed to have sex, and you're not allowed to have any heavy petting, and you have $100,000 on the line.
Oh my gosh.
And every time that anybody breaks the rules, the money goes down.
Wow.
So it's kind of ridiculous and hilarious. It's a lot like the Bachelorette vibe, but it's very entertaining.
So, have you seen anybody, like, break the rules yet?
Yeah, actually, there were 2 girls who decided to sabotage the whole group and just make out so that everyone lost money. And then the group figured it out. But, yeah, I think that you would enjoy it if you watched it.
I'm very interested in the show now. I might have to watch it. Too Hot to Handle.
Yeah, there's 2 seasons. So, what are your obsessions?
Big Brother. It started back up. And it's already taken over my life. So, they premiered the first episode, I want to say Thursday. They've only done 2, so I'm not really sure what the exact schedule is. I just get notified of it. It's like Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday.
That is so much.
I know. It takes up so much time, but it's so good, and I love, like, the strategy. It sounds so stupid.
Okay, so what is the premise of it? Because I don't think I really know.
Okay. So you stick 16 people in this house, right?
Uh-huh.
Every week, someone goes home.
Okay.
It's kind of, that's the basis of a lot of reality shows like this.
America's Next Top Model.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. No.
Yeah.
So essentially, there's a new competition each week that determines the head of the house.
Okay.
So, like, for instance, this guy gets head of the house. He's in charge of nominating 2 people within the house to get evicted from it, to go home.
Okay.
These 2 people play in another competition, and if they win, they can remove themselves from the eviction.
Oh.
In that case, if that happens, the head of household has to do another one, right? So he has to put 2 people always have to be up. So
I see.
If someone gets, their safety, he has to put another one up, and then the house votes on one of the 2 of them.
That sounds very interesting.
It is because, like, for instance, this week, this guy, his name's Frenchie. He's a farmer. He's adorable. I like him, but he's going crazy already. So he had his target, and they had another competition where he got safety. His target did. So he had to, like, go back on his word. And he said he was not going to let any women get voted out. Because he feels like that happens. They pick on weak people or women who can't win competitions. So, but he had to go back on his word, and he put up 2 people. One girl, he said he did it and went back on his word because she was in a showmance. And he's like, I hate showmances. So, yeah, it's very interesting because when, he's having to put 3 people up, 2 of them stay, and that's 2 people now against him.
Right.
So it's just like...
It's like a social game. Yeah,
and it's a lot. If you like Survivor, you might like it.
It sounds like I would definitely like it, but I don't think I have 3 days a week.
I know. That's my only problem, but... And I didn't think I would either, and I tried it for the season... Was it 20? I've watched 2 seasons of it now. And the first season I was hooked. I was like, I'm just going to give it a shot.
That's how I felt with Survivor, but now I've been just watching random stuff, so I haven't been consistent with Survivor, but I, like, really want to go on Survivor whenever I'm watching it. Yeah. And Survivor just announced that the new season is coming out soon, but I'll probably be watching that one.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom loves Survivor, and my brother watched it, too. So.
Yeah. I had a TikTok go viral, and... One of the girls from Survivor on a season I watched commented on my TikTok.
Ooh.
And I, like, loved her in the season. So that was kind of cool, but anyway.
Yeah, Survivor would be hard, though. Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, you're, like, starving, sleep-deprived, exhausted, losing weight, constantly on edge. But it's $1 million on the line.
Yeah. It has to be worth it. I just... could not do the food competitions where they feed them gross stuff.
I don't think they're doing that as much anymore. Because they have, like, vegans and stuff on there.
Okay.
But...
I would tell them I'm vegan, so I wouldn't have to eat that. That's what I would do.
Then somebody would catch a fish, and you would have to not eat it.
I would, like, be like, look over there, cameras.
I'm a pescatarian.
There you go.
Any other recent obsessions?
No, it's really just been that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it takes up 3 nights a week.
And then you've got Bachelorette on Mondays.
Yeah, and then they announced a cast for A Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh, they did?
Yes, and I'm like, okay, there's 2 more nights a week, because Bachelor in Paradise is Monday, Tuesday, so.
When does that start? Will it overlap with Katie's season?
I don't think so. I think it's like...
Right after.
Yeah, I think her season ends and it starts up. It's like the middle of August.
Okay, good.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. We're already getting through Katie's season.
I know. They haven't announced any of the guys from Katie's season except for freaking Carl.
Oh!
I know. I was like, no, not Carl.
Not the guy punching a ghost. Anyway, probably nobody knows what we're talking about unless they listen to or watch The Bachelor.
Yeah, and if you want to waste your life, go watch The Bachelorette or Big Brother.
Or listen to Basic Batches.
That's not a waste of your life. We're educational.
Yeah, we learn a lot on there. Okay, well, I guess we should introduce the topic.
Yes. Do you want to introduce it?
I think you should.
Okay. We're talking about habits. Good habits, bad habits. And how to get rid of these habits.
Yep.
And habits we have and habits you can adopt.
Right.
Etc.
I think it's going to be educational, inspirational, perspirational.
I don't think it will. I hope not.
Maybe you start sweating when you withdraw from
you might.
Coke.
I probably will. I already get hot and cranky at work, so I'm already on the edge there.
Well, I guess you should start off with the definition of habits, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just found this really, really funny. So the first definition from Google is a settled or irregular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. So that's like the common one. But then under that, it says a long, loose garment worn by a member of a religious order or congregation. And it said... the examples, nuns in a long brown habits, black veils, and sandals. And I was like, I did not know.
You didn't know that nuns were habits?
No.
What?
This is new information for me.
I am so shook. Yeah, their little headpieces are habits. You know?
I'm thinking of hijabs.
You thinking of what?
A hijab. That's what...
A hijab is, like Muslims.
I've never heard of a nun wearing a habit.
You thought nuns wore hijabs?
Well, they're headpieces. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. And then there's Jewish ones too. I can't remember what those are called. But, okay.
But yeah, I did not know that. They were habits.
Well, maybe you're educating those out there who didn't know that either.
I feel like you'd have to know quite a bit about the Catholic Church, because all I know is...
No. I don't know that much about Catholics.
You have to know to know their garment names. I'm like, robes.
Well, you knew a Muslim garment name.
That's true, but that's only because I watched 90 Day Fiancé and they talk about them.
Yeah, there's not that many nuns out in the world anymore.
No.
But, so I had some, were there any more definitions?
No, that was it.
Okay, well, I learned that about 45% of our everyday behaviors are formed in habits. So, like, stuff we do every day is considered a habit.
Yeah, they gave that example of, like, brushing your teeth as a habit, yeah.
Right, and it's, like, in familiar settings and times and spaces. Mm-hmm. So, I thought that was really interesting because that's, like, almost half of what we do. Mm-hmm. And then habits are formed deep in the brain in an area called the basal ganglia, and it's really deep in your brain. It's not, like, on the outside parts, which scientists call the newer parts because they think the brain evolved over however millions of years or whatever. But in the basal ganglia, habits such as swallowing and breathing are controlled there. So any habits that you've formed in your life also are stored there.
Interesting.
And obviously swallowing and breathing are involuntary, so habits like maybe me picking my face become involuntary almost as well.
Okay.
And then habits are formed to conserve energy because our brain is always looking for ways to be efficient. And this process is called chunking. And I
read that, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, so I have some information about chunking. Your brain divides a complex pattern into small chunks. Each chunk is then automated, requiring less and less brain activity the more often it's repeated.
Yeah, that's what mine said too.
Chunking just sounds disgusting.
I know.
Sounds like you're throwing up chunks.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Chunks is not like a... Chunking chunks is not a pleasant word in general.
No.
So, yeah.
Anyway, I guess there was this experiment that scientists did with mice, and they had it go down a hallway and then set cheese or something like to the left, and the mouse would start at the beginning of the experiment with really engaged brain waves and brain activity, and it would be looking for what the smell was, and it would finally find it. But like after a week of that, its brain waves were like way smaller because the brain of the mouse had conserved energy, and it just became habit to go down and go get the cheese because it had a routine. So I thought that was really interesting. But yeah, there's that. And then the last little tidbit of information on this part is that studies have found that beliefs can help to break bad habits and to replace them with good ones. So, there's like inner beliefs like I can do this, but then also I guess in AA, like Alcoholics Anonymous, the people who had a bigger faith, like a spiritual faith, have done a lot better than like people like atheists and agnostics. Oh. So I thought that was really interesting too. That is. But yeah.
Yeah, the mouse experiment kind of reminds me of, I've lost the name of it, the experiment with the dog, and whenever it would get its food,
it would salivate.
Yeah. Because it recognized, now it's not really a habit, but it was involuntary and it associated the sound.
Yeah, that's true.
It reminds me of like the habit of bell means food, but...
Yeah, and something that was discussed when I was looking up was, like, there is always, like, a trigger to a habit.
Yeah.
So, and that, it would be, like, the bell. But, like, for us, or somebody, it might be, like, getting in your car, you have the instinct to go get Starbucks or something.
Yeah.
But, I guess I can talk about my bad habits.
Yep.
I'll just list mine, and then maybe you can list yours.
Okay.
So some of mine off the top of my head that I've been thinking about the last couple days are I leave doors open, and I don't know why.
Okay.
Like in the kitchen, I'll leave cabinet doors open, and like Adam's hit his head on them and stuff. And I don't know. It's just like, and I leave my closet doors open, and I've had to learn to stop doing that, but it's still something I struggle with. I bite the insides of my cheeks a lot.
Okay.
I am really bad about eating healthfully if I'm not consistent. I'm addicted to Instagram, I'm pretty sure, and just social media. Impulse buying, and finally picking my face, which I've already talked about in other episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Wow, you have a lot more than I did.
That's okay. I'm not talking about all of these in depth. But.
Yeah, well, I guess I've never thought about it, but I leave lights on, and I never really thought of it as a habit, but that would be, and I think it was probably because, when I was a kid, I probably didn't like it dark in the house, and so I'd turn on lights and leave them.
My mom would yell at me if I did that.
Oh, so. Yeah. My dad was, like, seriously, like, crazy about me leaving lights on, so, like, I've gotten out of that, but Brandon still's like, you left this light on. I'm like, sorry.
That's gonna be half a penny more to your light bill.
I know, maybe if I start paying the light bills,
yeah,
that would help. But
that would help break that habit.
Maybe. I have nail biting.
I used to do that.
Yeah. They had, when I was reading about habits, a lot of people struggle with skipping breakfast. And I was like, I didn't think of it as a habit.
That's true.
But I do skip breakfast most of the time out of pure laziness and unwillingness to wake up earlier.
Right.
Using like and
Now we're going to be on edge about it.
Yeah. I like to use like and
It's okay. That's the way of the basic bee.
Right? So
And literally.
Literally.
So
those I would consider my bad habits. And then I thought I'd list a couple good ones.
Okay.
And this was just like what I found on the internet of like examples of good habits. Washing your hands. I'm a freak about like washing my hands. Especially at work, I always feel like really gross and I have to wash my hands like once an hour. And then listening to podcasts or music at work. Like, I have to have some sort of sound going on.
Maybe that's an addiction.
Maybe. I don't know. It's like, what's the difference?
At least you're learning.
Yes. Reading.
That's good.
It's a good habit, but sometimes it takes up way too much time. But yeah, I read and watch TV before I go to bed. And otherwise my mind, like, I can't go to bed. I like reading. So,
do you watch TV first and then read?
I read then watch TV. Because usually I can't read when Brandon's, like, coming to bed because he has to turn on the TV. So it's like I can't do both.
Right.
So I try to read before he comes up to bed. But
at least you're reading.
Yes, I'm trying.
So I didn't write down any of my positive habits, but just thinking off the top of my head, I've gotten pretty good about making my bed.
Good.
So I'm happy about that. And I've gotten really good about keeping my room clean. And I'll go through, like, once a week, a time where I put everything in its place and, like, wipe down my desk and make it a nice, peaceful place. So that's a good habit. And I don't know.
You brush your teeth.
I brush my teeth.
You shower?
I could get better about showering.
Oh.
Yeah. I do change my underwear, though.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good habit, to have a fresh pair of undies every
I'll
day.
count that as my third good habit.
There you go.
But, yeah. Or fourth, I guess. But, yeah. So, then I was going to talk about maybe how to break a couple of my main bad habits.
Okay.
Because I was Googling stuff and watching videos about how to do that, and there was a lot of good, helpful stuff on there.
Okay.
So I guess I'll start with my addiction to social media. So I pretty much always get the impulse in a time of like a lull at work or like boredom to just open my phone and immediately go to Instagram, see what's new, watch my like favorite people's stories, and then I'll go to Twitter after that. I'll check Facebook for birthdays usually because I don't use Facebook that much.
Yeah.
And then I still have Snapchat. Does anyone use Snapchat anymore?
I use Snapchat only because I have so much saved on there.
Me too. Yeah.
But I don't really use Snapchat anymore.
My Snapchat I started in 2012.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but I'll check Snapchat stories and then I'll scroll through my YouTube subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just ridiculous. It's like a whole system that I go through out of like a feeling of withdrawal. I can really identify and relate to people with like an addiction to smoking now because I feel anxious if I don't like check my social media. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So, do you have that struggle at all or not really?
I don't really struggle with social media per se, but I think I don't want to say it's generational because we're not that far apart in age.
Yeah, I think we do have a lot of generational differences though.
Yeah, so I think it's maybe that is like when I was in high school, Instagram was just coming out like towards the end.
Yeah.
And it didn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
And Instagram didn't that much. And so I think it's partially that. I do feel like my mind is racing if I don't calm it down and like read or watch TV. Like I need something relaxing.
Yeah.
Or else I feel like I'm on edge.
Right.
So maybe it's that would be mine.
Yeah.
Needing like maybe you find social media relaxing, I find reading and TV relaxing.
Yeah.
And
I think the bigger picture is like I just need background noise and background thoughts.
Yeah.
It's like almost not being comfortable with just sitting with myself, which is weird to think about because in like obviously elementary, middle school, and a lot of high school, that was what we were forced to do. And there wasn't such an emphasis on social media like there is now. And I mean, that was only 5 to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think it really boils down to just like always needing a stimulant, like stimulation for my brain. Yeah.
And, it makes you wonder, what are the habits going to be of the younger kids? Like, because now I see like 2 or 3 year olds with iPads.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not knocking that or anything, but like I'll see parents out to dinner with iPads or with their kids on iPads. And it's like they need the constant stimulation because my parents always had the rule when we were out to eat, no phones, nothing.
No headphones was a big one. And yeah, I'm sure we were raised similarly with that. But my 4-year-old sister has an iPad a lot. But they also are trying to be good about having her do activities outside and all of that stuff. I think it's just setting boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just interesting to wonder, like, what's 5 to 10 years going to be like the younger generation's need for stimulation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's going to be, I feel like they're going to have to change the testing or the requirements maybe to get into college or something because our attention spans now are so short. Yeah. Especially thanks to TikTok. But Oh, yeah, I forgot about TikTok. I didn't even talk about TikTok. I could spend hours on TikTok.
Oh, my goodness. I can spend hours on TikTok. I do like TikTok. I don't have one.
But you just watch it.
I just watch it.
Does your For You page, like, deliver videos specifically to you?
Oh, yeah.
So that's interesting. Do you have an account on there?
Mm-mm.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So, obviously, he's listening to you still.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the apps are made to be addictive. They reel you in, and obviously they're listening to us now, so they find buzzwords and buzz products and advertisements that are targeted towards us. So it takes something that was already, like, bad, and now they're really pulling you in.
Oh, yeah.
But, so some of the tips I found for helping to stop an addiction to social media are turning your notifications off for any apps, which I've had mine off for months, and that has helped a lot because I'm not constantly, like, seeing, oh, so-and-so commented.
Yeah.
And then this one guy said to rearrange your home screen and put the apps in files. So that way you have to, like, dig for them, and it's not just, like, I mean, it would become muscle memory every now and then, but maybe just rearranging your home screen every now and then so that your brain has to, like, think harder.
Yeah, to get to the...
Yeah. And then with that, I guess there's Siri suggestions. So, like, when you pull down from the menu at the top of the phone, it'll have your top used apps. And you can turn that off, so that way it's still harder to access the apps.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, this is probably common sense, but, like, setting a specific time of day to use social media.
Yeah.
Like, no social media at work would probably be really helpful for me.
Mm-hmm.
But do you ever use social media at work?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not unless it's for the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I do not have any time to even, like, get on, like, text people. Like,
Really?
Yeah, it's just, like I said, we need help.
And, yeah, you're short-staffed.
Yeah, and if I don't have anything to do, I'll hop on it. But for the most part, no. The only thing I do with my phone at work is switch podcast to listen to. So that's about it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the coffee shop, if it's dead, I'll definitely be scrolling on Instagram. I've been trying to work on the podcast instead of doing that at work.
Yeah.
Because there's so much that we can do for it.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so setting a specific time of day, and then I guess going along with that, obviously there's screen time usage reports on Apple.
I hate seeing that.
So you have your setup.
I guess so. I don't know how.
I haven't even bothered to look because I knew it would be horrible. So I looked before this podcast and I didn't even have mine turned on. So it's monitoring me now. So I'm interested to see what happens this week.
I think mine was 2 hours and 47 minutes a day.
That's crazy.
I know, but...
And, like, you're not even, like, probably on it as much as me.
Yeah, but I wonder, like, how much that has to do with, like, when I listen to our episodes of the podcast to, like, pull videos and pull stuff. I have to do it through YouTube.
Right.
So my phone's up, so I'm like, okay, that's an hour that I'm not really on my phone.
Right.
So I don't know how much of that it tracks.
Yeah.
Or, like, music. I need to learn more about it, but yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, that sounds more healthy than probably what mine's going to be, but now that I've looked stuff up, I'm going to probably be more conscious for the near future.
Yeah, I'd like to limit mine to 1 hour a day.
I think that'd be a good goal.
Yeah, and my problem is like, for instance, watching Big Brother.
Mm-hmm.
When a commercial hits, I'm on Instagram and I'm going through stories.
That's what I do.
So that's when I'm on my phone. I feel like the most is when I'm trying to relax. I'll be like, I don't want to sit through this ad, and I'll sit on Instagram or something. So
we've got 2 screens going at once.
Yep.
And I'm almost done with this one,
good.
But you can really evaluate which social media apps you want or need. Mm-hmm. So I'm about to delete Twitter, I'm pretty sure, because I just don't like it that much.
I deleted my Twitter.
Yeah. A lot of people don't use Twitter nowadays, I feel like. At least that I know. And then limit who you follow. That's been a big help to me, because when you follow like 700 to 1,000 people, there's always new stuff on your feed.
Yeah.
But if you only follow like 200 or 100, you're not going to have that much new stuff to look at.
Yeah.
And then no phone in the morning is supposed to help, because your habits are formed, I guess, a lot when you're in that state in the morning when you just wake up. So if you immediately go for your phone, it's not good.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
But that's just what I saw.
That's like my relaxation before I have to get up is I'll just scroll. But
yeah, it seems like our forms of relaxation take a lot of place on the phone.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Interesting. Well, I had like a couple of just tips for any habit to break.
That's good.
So it's to first identify your triggers. So to ask yourself questions is, where does the habitual behavior happen? What time of day? What do you feel when it happens? Are other people involved? Does it happen right after something? So it's stuff like that. Then to focus on why you want to change. So like for me, it's nail biting. If I want to change because I want pretty nails, that's what you focus on. Enlist a friend's support. I feel like that's for more serious habits.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
I guess if you had a friend, you guys could like check in with your screen time or something.
Yeah.
Or have a competition.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do that.
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
I would lose.
Well, we might find out. Leave yourself reminders. So maybe make your self a little Post-it note.
Yeah.
Stop biting your nails. Then prepare for slip-ups. Because that does happen. So change your environment if you need to, and to start small was a lot of it.
Yeah.
But then when I was reading, one thing I found very interesting about habits is how they form.
Okay.
So it's a 3-step process, which is cue, behavioral repetition, and rewards. So part of I guess the cue is, like I said, recognizing what's causing it. So, it could be the time of day, the location, anything that will trigger your habit. So for me, I might say, you know what,
You're at a commercial break.
I'm at a commercial break. Exactly. I mean, that's true. And then, so then the behavioral repetition's the habit itself. And what I found really interesting is they say that habitual behavior is you getting a reward. And then you have a positive, feeling. So that's why you do it again.
Right.
So, for instance, back to the scrolling during commercials is, your cue is commercial.
Right.
Your behavior is the phone. Your reward is being entertained while that commercial's on and you don't feel as, bored or
whatever.
Yeah, annoyed about the commercial.
Right.
So, yeah, I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
So, did you want to go... Okay, so the next one I was going to talk about was impulse buying.
Oh, let's talk about this because I do struggle with impulse buying.
Okay, and this has gotten really bad recently because, I've been looking at my bank account because we are going to Cedar Point, so I gave you some money for that, and then I had to pay off a credit card that had $300 on it, and then, I don't know, just stuff adds up, and I get paid every 2 weeks, but I'm looking at my bank statements, and it's all withdrawals, and it's all food.
Oh, I hate looking at that.
It's food. So annoying. It's why do I need so much food? And why do I want, I don't know. You can just make food at home, but to go to Chick-fil-A or Starbucks or Culver's is so rewarding.
Yeah.
That feeling of satisfaction, and it's a mini trip, you know? So, I was looking up how to kill that bad habit, and a good frame of thought to start being more conscious of your buying habits is to think about how many hours of work would this cost.
Yeah. So
I use that a lot when it's for bigger purchases.
Yeah.
But I tend to ignore smaller purchases.
Yeah.
So, because if something's $8, I'm this is nothing.
Yeah.
But then I'm spending $8 every day for 300 days, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I don't make that much money as a barista.
Yeah.
So, my hours of work mean a lot more to me than a dollar amount. So, I thought that was a good tip. And then, don't shop while you're emotional or bored. I thought that was good.
And I think I shop every Saturday.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go?
Me and my mom, we always go to Hobby Lobby.
That sounds peaceful.
I know. Well, like, just for instance, you know, I'm kind of, like, in the same boat as to, I feel like I always have some form of a holiday.
Yeah.
I have a house now.
Right.
Like, I need to decorate for this holiday.
Of course.
And, you know, obviously you buy one or two things here or there. You don't think much of it, but then it's like, okay, I've spent $50 on 6 holidays. That's $300 I've spent just on decor. That's only up for 20 days.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of bad. But, like, I had to buy some t-shirts, some Cricut stuff at Hobby Lobby. And then...
Not like Cricut the sport.
No. Cricut the craft maker. And then we wanted to make Brandon's mom's birthday was this past week, so I wanted to make something kind of homemade.
Right.
So I had to buy stuff for that. Then I collect antique trucks, and they had a new antique truck, and it was only like $12. But it was like...
It's only an hour of work.
I know, but after buying all of it was $99.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh my word, I just died a little bit inside.
And you're still recovering from the $70 of popcorn you bought at the Black Widow movie.
Oh my gosh, Brandon bought that.
That's
Thank
good.
God, I would have been like, no.
Yeah.
I take it back. We don't want anything. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll starve.
But yeah, I have that same problem with the fast food because I do go to the grocery. And I feel like every time I go, I spend, like, the price of groceries has gone up.
Oh, yeah. It's expensive.
Yeah. I can't get out of there for... I try to do $120 for 2 weeks of food, which is really good.
Oh, yeah. That's really good.
I've been getting the Kroger newspaper, and I, like, find what's on sale.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
That's
then I
good.
try to do it, and then I try to make meals that last two or three
leftovers.
meals. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I make a lot of that kind of stuff, and try not to waste food.
Of course.
Because I feel like so much of our food does go to waste. But, you know, it still pains me every time I get to the cash register, and I feel like I'm never at $120. I was like, I'm almost so mad.
Yeah, and it's also just easy to excuse it and just be like, oh, well, next time. But something that I learned about killing habits is you have to be super intentional.
Yeah.
And obviously slip-ups every now and then are okay, but you can't excuse things over and over.
Yeah.
So back to specifically impulse buying, it's better to shop with a list, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And a list takes some premeditation, so it's stuff that you're sure that you need. Another tip was don't save credit card info to your computer or your phone, and don't sign up for personal accounts on websites that ask you to sign up for something, because they're going to save your info and then it'll just take one click of a button to buy stuff. So I thought that was good, because if you have to go get your credit card and give it more thought than just pressing a button, that might help.
Interesting.
And then another lady who had this problem talked about a jar method. So every time you have an impulse to buy something, you write it down on a piece of paper, you put down the amount that it would cost, and then you put it in a jar, and you do it for a whole month every time you have an impulse. And then, but you have to resist the impulse, obviously. Okay. Then you add up the whole amount of money that you would have spent on impulse buys, and you transfer that amount to your savings as
That's a good idea. I like that.
I know. I thought that was really good. So I might try that this week.
Yeah.
Because I need to freaking save some money.
I know. I feel you there. I feel like I have so much going on.
I know. There's always stuff to spend.
Yeah. So, and I'm trying to get stuff paid down. I don't want a car payment anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get rid of my car payment. I have a credit card, but the balance is lowered. Mm-hmm. So it's so much easier to put something on there because I can justify it with the points. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, I'll just pay it. It's easier to think in your mind. Okay, I'll just pay, I want, for instance, this countertop from Menards for our bathroom. it was like $1,000.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'll just pay $250 a week. I can manage that. But then like I read like this article that was completely anti-debit cards. Because there's there's a lot less liability with credit cards. Like, if your number gets stolen, that's on the company. Whereas there's...
So debit cards that just go straight to your bank account?
Yeah, they say do not use debit cards at all. Yeah.
That's, like, all I use.
I know. And so I'm, like, trying not to do that anymore. So, like, you know, I'll have that mindset of, okay, I'll pay, like, $250 a week. But then forgetting that my Amazon Prime... my Hulu,
your Peacock,
my
Disney
Plus, Crew car wash. I have the unlimited washes every month, and that's like, it's all coming out of there too. And I'm like, where does this come from? So I think that's helped me a lot, is hating credit cards and the interest you can accrue on them, and not wanting to use my debit card. So like,
but if you hate credit cards,
I hate both.
So, for a normal purchase at Kroger, you would use your credit card?
100%.
Okay.
Well, and, you know, also, if you have the money in your account, so if I go to Kroger, right, you shouldn't ever, you shouldn't put stuff on credit cards if you don't have it in your account, but I do for emergencies and stuff. Right. But, you know, if you want to, like, have that $120 for your groceries... and then immediately pay it off, so you get the points too.
What credit card did you decide to go with?
I have a Capital One MasterCard.
So what do your points do?
So you can redeem your points for several things. You can get gift cards.
Oh.
Which I love, because like I can get us a date night gift card.
Oh, that's awesome.
And if you have a balance, you could put it back on your balance. You can cover a purchase. So, like, it's hooked up to my Amazon.
Okay.
So, I can choose, you have $6 in points. You can get $6 off your item.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
I do have a Capital One credit card, but it was, like, a student version. So, I really need to, like, take charge of my finances. But that might be a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. Well, the thing I don't like about my credit card, or Capital One, I guess, is, and a lot of the other ones... they increase your credit limit, because Capital One is not my first credit card. So like, but they increased it to like $6,500.
Oh wow!
Like, I do not need this much money.
Yeah.
I started with a Kohl's credit card, and it's at $300.
Okay.
I can't spend more than $300. I think they did up it to $750 or something, but that was like. My mom was like, you need to get a credit card to start building your credit.
So you went with Kohl's.
So I went with Kohl's, because I used to shop there a lot. Now I don't shop there at all.
I love Kohl's.
Really?
I thought it's like, if I had to choose one place to go during a tornado, I'd go to Kohl's.
Really? Why Kohl's?
Because I feel like it's so warm and reminiscent.
Like, no, it's just Kohl's. There's no other option for a tornado.
Nope.
Interesting.
I would die in the arms of their flannel section.
There you go. I got an Allegiant one.
Oh, like that's a good one.
And I have not used it once.
Oh, really?
So I just pay a $59 fee every freaking year.
$59 fee?
Yeah, it's supposed to do well if you travel, but I'm like, pandemic, can't go anywhere.
Can you cancel it?
I can cancel it.
Maybe you should.
I've thought about it, but I'm like, I think I forgot my credit limit on it, but it's pretty high. Mm-hmm. And from what I know, it's good to have, like, when you buy a house, they don't like you to have open credit cards. Mm-hmm. But, like, as far as your credit score, it's good to have all this open credit.
Right.
So it's like $1,200 to $1,500.
Credit is so confusing.
I know.
Okay, we probably should drop the credit.
Yes.
Talk.
Yeah, because that's nothing to do with habits, but...
It's very interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Maybe we could do an episode on credit cards, but...
and how evil they
are.
Dave Ramsey does not approve.
No, he doesn't approve of credit cards.
But he's not realistic sometimes.
No, because, I mean, who wants to go... This sounds so lazy, but I do not want to go to the bank and pull out cash.
I don't want to be using an envelope every time I go to the store.
I know. It's good advice. It's just hard to...
implement.
Yes, exactly.
And then I guess the last tip for my impulse buying was you have to have saving goals, which I didn't really think about, but the way that it was framed when I was learning about it is if you don't have a goal in mind, you're not going to care as much.
Yeah.
And that's really true. When I look at how I spend my money, I just am like, well, I'm not paying rent and it's just $8 here, $8 there.
Yeah.
And I don't have a goal in mind. I'm not really saving up for anything. And that's probably not healthy. So having an end goal is really helpful.
And I think that's good to have like an amount. Like I want to save.
Yeah, that's what they said.
$100 cash out every week to put in savings or something. Yeah,
that's a good point. She did say you need to look at what you have coming in and what you have going out and set a realistic amount per an amount of time. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was like the end of the impulse buying. Another thing that this lady mentioned, who I was learning from, she mentioned that she doesn't go to Target if she just needs groceries.
Okay.
She will go to purely just a grocery store. And I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, because
who can resist Target?
I know, you can't go to Target and not spend at least like $5.
Yeah,
it's
they
more
have
like $100.
Yeah, I went there and spent like $70.
It's so easy to do.
And they have that dollar section.
And they have really cute swimsuits there.
And they have just cute everything.
I know.
It's a curse.
I know.
And a blessing.
Yes, I love Target.
Okay, the last habit I wanted to discuss is my unhealthy eating habits.
Oh, Lord. What's going on with your eating habits?
Basically,
fast food.
I eat whatever I want, whenever I want, and that's that.
Yeah.
And I'll go through periods where I eat pretty healthy and I can stay consistent, and then I'll screw up and I'll say, well, F it all, I'm done, and go back to my old ways.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the state I've been in recently, is just eating what I want. I have been trying to eat more salads, but it's hard for me to get out of the all or nothing mind frame.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's a struggle for me, but something that really helps me get back into eating healthier is getting active, because I don't want to undo the work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because any day that I go to the gym or exercise, I'm like, I did not just do that for nothing.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good tip. And then just being conscious and reading labels is helpful, because when you actually see a number going into your body, that helps you make a decision more consciously than just shoving Cheetos in your mouth.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a good tip. Replace your favorite foods with better alternatives. So if you love pancakes, maybe switch it out for a healthier protein pancake.
Okay.
So I think that's a good idea. I have done that, and I love these protein pancakes, and they're not as bad for you as like a sugary pancake mix.
Yeah.
So just finding healthy-ish alternatives to start with, and replacing your horrible options with that. Carry a snack with you whenever you go somewhere. That way you don't feel tempted to just stop at McDonald's, like a protein bar or something. But those can have a lot of sugar too, but maybe some fruit or nuts or whatever. And then have easy options ready to go at home, obviously.
Yeah.
Eating at home is so good for so many reasons. Obviously, you're saving money, but it also encourages you to eat better, because you have to really think about what you're going to make. So my last tip is look up fun recipes. There's really good stuff on Pinterest, YouTube, even TikTok. When I've liked TikToks about healthy eating, they tend to come up on my For You page.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of really fun stuff, obviously, online. And then it kind of makes it its own activity.
Yeah.
Which is good. But that was really all of my advice for eating better and breaking the habit of unhealthy eating.
Yeah, and I'm going to just add real quick to, your comments about how to do it. My mom was on Weight Watchers, and that really helped her. And it's kind of like how you said, consciously thinking of how many points it's putting into your body,
Mm-hmm.
you know, helps you a lot to have to sit there and be like, okay, I really want this. And then you're like, oh, that's 50.
Yeah.
When I could sit there and eat a salad for like 10.
Right.
And then later, what I really like about Weight Watchers, and I've thought about trying it, is you don't necessarily have to cut things out.
Right.
Which is unrealistic for so many people. And so, like, for instance, if you know your spouse wants to take you out to dinner, you can pre-look at a menu and kind of, like, calculate, okay, this is going to be 20 points. My goal is to only do 50 points today. That means from breakfast to before dinner, I can only consume, like, 30. You know, like...
Yeah.
So that's what I really like about it.
Everything needs to be practical.
Yeah, because I think that's where my eating habits struggle is, like, on the weekends, me and my brother and mom, we usually go out and do something.
Mm-hmm.
That's lunch. And then usually Brandon's family wants to go to a Mexican restaurant every Friday. That's eating out.
Yeah.
And eating out's clearly not good for you. And then...
It can be.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of healthy options, but, like, being intentional when you go through the menu...
Yeah.
That is a huge thing, because when I'm healthy eating and being active...
Yeah.
I'm always looking at the healthy stuff, but, like, in a time like I've been recently, I just go for, you know, the mac and cheese and stuff. And something that is good that you mentioned is looking at the menu. Maybe, before and deciding what you want. That way you're not tempted when you go. And also maybe having a snack before you go so you're not as hungry.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. My problem is if I go to a Mexican restaurant, I can't resist queso.
Oh my gosh.
It's so hard.
Well, you can replace queso with guac.
But I don't like guac.
Well, how do you not like guac?
I don't
That's
like it.
That's so wrong.
I'm sorry.
I don't like coffee.
I don't like guac.
You don't have any guac shirts.
No.
But first guac.
Oh my gosh.
Instead of but first coffee.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Do you do the avocado toast?
I love avocado toast. I had some yesterday, actually. But you can have some queso, just not 5 pounds of it.
Well, that's my problem is I eat 5 pounds of queso.
I know, that's the hard thing.
I gotta get into a good mindset. I do think that, like, just having, like you mentioned, exercising is you don't want to give something up. I think having that consequence, like, in your brain helps a lot. So.
Yeah, and I think these two habits, eating better and not impulse buying, kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because eating is really an impulse for me a lot, and I don't put enough planning into it, which is why I struggle both with eating poorly and spending too much money on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot to consider when breaking these habits. Don't overdo it. Don't beat yourself up if you screw up a little bit.
And start small.
Yeah, and it's this same thing with the social media issue that I've had. You can't do, like, a 30-day detox. And I was listening to this doctor talk about habits, and he said he hates the word detox and cleanse because as soon as that's done and you go back, you're just going to be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So you don't have to delete the apps from your phone. You just need to be more intentional about when you do use the apps.
Yeah.
Or intentional about what you buy.
Yeah.
Or intentional about what you eat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought those were some habits that people might relate to. But do you have any other habits that you wanted to talk about?
No. I think that's about it.
The last point that I had was I read that it takes 18 to 254 days to break a habit.
That doesn't surprise me.
Or let me make sure I'm not screwing this up. It says 18 to 254 days for a person to form a new habit.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. And an average of 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic.
Okay.
So If you can do anything for about 30 to 60 days, it's probably going to be a habit. But something like probably smoking or drinking or drugs is going to be on the longer end of that spectrum. But if it's something, like picking your face or your acne or biting your nails, that could be on the shorter end of that scale.
Yeah. Maybe I'll be like you and wear gloves so I don't pick my nails.
I brought my gloves tonight so I wouldn't pick my face while I watch The Bachelorette. Yeah. So I guess I can go ahead and read our misconnection.
Yes, please do. I'm interested in hearing about this one.
So this one happened at Kroger.
Ooh, okay.
Which relates back to our episode. It's called Kroger's Meat Department BLK Meat Cutter East. I was the W guy who was, I think this means white. I was the white guy who was getting some fillets, and you are the big black meat cutter. It says BLK, meat cutter working, and you offered me a huge piece of meat. I took it. It was really delicious. Also, thanks. I need more.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Did he actually? I'm so confused.
I don't think this is talking about meat.
I don't think it's talking about like a, steak.
I think it's talking about a ween.
A ween.
Peen, ween, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Well, that was interesting. So I guess if you're a meat cutter on the east side of Indy and at a Kroger, someone's looking for some more meat.
I did cut meat at Kroger last year. Did you know that?
Yeah, you told the story about the lady with the crab ragoon salad or the crab salad or whatever.
Yeah, go listen to that episode. It's called Weird Coworkers or something, but yeah, I never saw any sexual happenings at that job. So
well, that's good. I would hope not at a grocery.
Maybe the Krogers are more fun here.
I think so. It sounds like it.
All right. Well, anything to add?
No. Just see you next week.
I guess we'll see you next week. I had something. We have to talk about our shirts.
Oh, yeah.
So for anybody who is listening, Becca and I are wearing matching shirts today. It's for Dry Bones Mud House, which is a local coffee shop in Indianapolis. And we actually interviewed the owner. His name's Danny. Our interview with him is on our channel or on the podcast apps.
And it was so fun. I have to add that.
It was amazing.
So fun, and he was a great interviewee.
Yes. It makes me excited for more.
Yeah, I think it was really, really entertaining. His stories were fascinating.
Yeah.
I was very excited the whole time.
And he gave us these amazing shirts, which was very sweet. It says, Wake Dim Bones Up. Mm-hmm. And if anybody is in Indianapolis and listening, they should go visit Danny and support him because he's just opening up because he's recovered from COVID and what that did to his business.
Yes.
So, yeah, we just wanted to plug that. But, again, thank you for listening. And go break those bad habits.
Good luck.
Good luck. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, it's Becca.
Hey, it's Maddie.
Thank you so much for listening to the Basic Bee podcast.
Follow us on the gram at basicbpod.
And join our private Facebook group linked in the episode notes.
Be sure to catch our next episode and leave us a nice review.
Until then, stay basic.
Bye, bees.